All right, guys, I'm going to go over the 8 answers that we did for last night's homework, for Tuesday's homework. Of course, your homework tonight is going to be the rest of those. So that would be I through P. And you'll submit those on a Google form as well. But let's take a look at how we could have done these first few. Oh boy, that's not good. I thought I got a brand new marker from Mrs. Noble. I guess I've lost it. Let's see. That one's okay. This one's definitely bad. Give that one a toss. Let's see how this one does. There we go. This one's good. All right. So for A, we have the square root of 27. So that's going to be between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. So that means it's going to be between the integers of 5 and 6, which means it's going to be approximately 5 point something. If we go back up here, we're only 2 away from that side and we're at 9 away from that side. So we're much closer to the left, which means we're going to be closer to 0.1, 0.2, things like that. I'm going to go ahead and write all these up here. All right, so if I'm closer to the left, I'm closer to this end down here. I'm not in the middle, and I'm not closer to 6, so all of those are gone. So I would say any of these 3 would be a pretty good guess. I would go ahead and put 5.2 or 5.1, but any of those I think should be pretty accurate. Okay, so let's see what B is. For B, we have negative square root of 62. Okay, so that's going to be between square root of 49 and 64, which means it's going to be between the integers of 7 and 8. So negative square roots of 62 is going to be approximately negative 7 point something. This time we're 13 away from the left and we're only 2 away from the right. So we are very close to the side with 8. We're not in the middle, we're not over here. So all of these that are closer to 7 can be eliminated. I would say the ones closer to the middle can be eliminated. So I would guess any of these. In this case, I would probably say 7.8 or 7.9 is better than 7.7, or well, negative 7.7, but I'd take it as an answer. So we get negative 7.8. All right, if we look at C, for C we have negative square root of 102. So the square root of 102 is going to be between the square root of 100 and the square root of 121. All right, so when we look over here, that means it's going to be between the integers of 10 and 11. So we already know that the square root of 102 is approximately 10 point something. And let's try to narrow that down. So we're 2 away from this side, we are 19 away from this side. So we are way closer to this side. So the things towards the middle, the things towards this end are definitely eliminated. I would say definitely these 2 are strong. That one's a little iffy, but I would probably take it. I would say 10.1. It's probably pretty accurate for what that one is. But again, I would take 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3. All right, for D, we have what looks like the easiest one. It might be the hardest one, really. of the square root of 3, that's going to be between the square root of 1 and the square root of 4. So that means it's going to be between the integers of 1 and 2, which means the square root of 3 is going to be approximately 1 point something. Okay, we're 2 away from that side and we're 1 away from that side. So I can see how you could make the argument that, hey, we're in the middle because 2 and 1 is split. And I'd have a hard time debating on that, to be honest. But do you also see that we're twice as far away from this side as we are that side? 1 away versus 2 away. So in a sense, we're not really in the middle. We're more towards this area in here. Maybe 0.9, maybe 0.5, but I would say these are a stronger guess. And I would say 0.7. Right? If we look at, I don't know why I circled that to make it harder to erase. If we look at E, for E we have square root of 33. So the square root of 33 is going to be between the integers of 25 and 36, which means it's going to be between, I misspoke. It's going to be between the perfect squares of 25 and 36, which means it's going to be between the integers of 5 and 6. There we go. So the square root of 33 is going to be approximately 5 point something. We're 8 away and we are 3 away. So I would argue that we're definitely closer to the side with 6. So that eliminates those 4 immediately. I would say that we're not in the middle. I would say that we're not right next to 6. So I'd say 0.6, 0.7, or 0.8 are probably your best guess. I'm going to put 0.7, but again, I would take any of those 3, 0.6, 0.7, or 0.8. All right, let's look at problem F. For F, we have the square root of 84. So the square root of 84 is between the square root of 81 and the square root of 100, which means it's between the integers of 9 and 10, which means it's going to be approximately 9 point something. We're 3 away and we are 16 away. So we're definitely closer to the side with 9, so we're going to be in these smaller decimals. We're nowhere near the middle, so I would say we can eliminate everything from 0.4 to 0.9. All of those would be gone. These 4 would be gone because they're closer to the 10 side. These 2 would be gone because they're closer to the middle. So I would say any of these would be pretty good guesses. 0.3 is probably a little bit too big, to be honest, but I would take it. I would say 0.1 or 0.2 is a little more accurate. I'm going to go with 0.2 this time. All right, let's look at letter G and see what its problem is. We have the square root of 48. Yeah, square root of 48. So the square root of 48 is going to be between 36 and 49, which means it's going to be between 6 and 7. So that means it's going to be approximately 6 point something. This one shouldn't be hard. 12 away, 1 away. We are 100% right next to 7. These 2 are definitely next to 7. I would probably take 0.7, but it's way too small, to be honest. It's 9. There's not really much other choice. 0.8, 0.9 are pretty strong. 0.7 is a little weak. But these 4 are closer to 6. These are closer to the middle. We are nowhere near the middle if you're 1 away and 12 away. All right, and to finish that off, let's look at the last one, H. We have negative square root of 20. So the square root of 20 is going to be between the square root of 16 and the square root of 25, which means it's going to be between the integers of 4 and 5, which means negative square roots of 20 is going to be approximately negative 4 point something. We're 4 away from that side, we're 5 away from that side. I mean, that's the middle, guys. It's really close to the middle, but a little bit closer to this side. So all of these are gone because all of those are closer to 5 and we're closer to 4. We're not near the edge. So here are your choices. That's the home run. I'm sorry, I circled wrong. Let me try that again. These are your choices, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. I would say 0.2 is still too small. So 3, 4, or 5. These 2 are your strongest. That's a little bit weaker, but still good enough. So I'm just going to go with negative 4.4, but it could be 0.5, it could be 0.3. All right, you have the rest of them to do, which I think we said was I through P, whatever. It's the rest of that worksheet. And go ahead and do the same thing, submit them to Google Forms, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.